Buick. This is LBC. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850.
Pick up on aspects of the budget. Mark in London, but I think there's something that wasn't covered that you felt should have been covered. Mark, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. How are you?
All right, sir.
Firstly, thank you for your coverage of the loan charge, which is what I'm ringing to speak to you about.
Right, thank you.
There's an opportunity. There's a brief window of opportunity. The Revenue and the Treasury seem to be going after a policy of retribution against loan charge members. I personally think there's a brief window of opportunity to switch that to gaining revenue, which is better for the country, better for the long-term future. There's an all-party parliamentary group which suggested to the Chancellor and the Treasury a solution to this problem. It's the largest APPG, I believe, in the history of Parliament. This is politicians who come together
parliamentary group, just to explain to people.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And they proposed a solution to the government, which frankly has not received even a response, let alone a denial.
What is their solution, Mark?
Their solution basically is to accept a 10% settlement from everybody across the board. These are exactly the people, Nick, that are going to help get this country out of the dilemma that it's in. These are entrepreneurial people who want to contribute to society and produce good businesses that are going to grow and innovate and allow us to become the country we should be. So
that's interesting. So
instead
of pursuing somebody for 200 grand, 20 grand, everybody gets on with the rest of their lives.
Everyone gets on with the rest of their lives. I mean, if I look at myself, for example, if the Revenue continue to pursue me, the net cost to the Treasury is £750,000.
Is that right?
So if I'm allowed to settle and move on with my life and continue paying my taxes, the difference between that and me going bankrupt and out of work, the difference to the Treasury until I retire is £750,000.
You'll be aware that I've been doing this for some time, in fact every day this week, and I have no intention of stopping with the coverage we're giving. I have to tell you that some people contact me via email, text and tweet saying these people must have known what they were getting into. They were trying to be smart. They were trying to dodge paying tax. Mark?
Well, if I look at my situation, the reason I even considered doing something like this was because of the IR35 legislation, quite frankly. In the old days, as a contractor, I would create a limited company and I would operate through a limited company on the contracts that I was working on.
Yeah.
But the Revenue made that completely impossible by bringing in the first version of IR35, which, by the way, is going to receive a massive upgrade in April this year.
It is.
And these schemes are still being sold, but unfortunately they're now being sold to healthcare workers, for example, and social workers, people who can barely afford to the massive bills that are going to be coming. It's almost a form of tax grooming by HMRC, because HMRC aren't doing anything, as far as I can tell, to shut these schemes down. I reported a scheme in December to HMRC, and I've yet to receive even a response about that scheme. So
that all their action hasn't closed them down at all?
No. In fact, they're doing better business than ever.
I have to leave it there for time reasons. Mark, stay tuned. We're not going to let this story go. It is of huge importance. And as we heard, of course, from Sir Ed Davey, who was on yesterday, maybe some of the Conservatives who speak very strongly in the House when it comes to voting need to perhaps respond then. I don't speak, by the way, of Sir Ian Duncan-Smith and David Davis, who've consistently voted against this. Mark, thank you. We need to come to other matters. All eyes now on Monday as regards school children when they go